Last night, my son Evan and I were playing with our 9-year-old grandson Cody. And this morning I'm sore all over. But my son wants me to do a demonstration of tulips. So we will see. I'm using the large flow brush, and I'm having the brush loading some white diluted, and then the very tip, you see how little the very tip is touching a thick vermilion, and I'm touching a little red in addition to the vermilion, and I blend the brush. Reload the tip to intensify the color and blend just a tiny little bit again. I will start with the flower and working the stroke with the body pressing. You can see as I lower the boom, the petals are changing colors. So by pressing it, then the body white is seamlessly integrated with the tip color. I'm coming back to the scene of the crime. You notice that tiny little puddle working petal bowing to the middle, and then maybe a petal reaching outward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And now I have the brush loading vermilion, and then the tip touching more red, and start touching a little bit of crimson. Still very much only at the tip. I'm working the inside of the flower petal. And then working some thick dark red, starting from the center, building a wall, pushing it out. Building a wall, pushing it out. So we have the center showing depth with the dark color. The Chinese name of tulip is Yu Jin Xiang. This character Yu is complicated. On the one hand, it is abundance, the growth, the joy of growth. And then on the other hand, the meaning of Yu also is like a painted, despondent feeling. So one day the flower is happy, the other day it is sad. As Dion would say, why must I be a teenage in love? All right. So we have one more flower with arms reaching to the left. Now, loading the darker red and crimson, showing the inside. You see that lower the boom motion, and then dark red. Going from the center out. Little bit. Whoa. Cool. Changing to a bigger brush. And we are loading some yellow with light green. And we are going to try to get the leaf showing the back side, so it's lighter. And we're reaching upwards. Providing a sheath for the flower. Maybe one more. Little bit wiggly as the nature of the leaf. Reaching up for the other flower. We'll have the flower tugging. And extend further down. Now we have, that's kind of a host group of leaves. We'll reach out, develop a extension to the left as a guest. These are leaves showing the back side or folding. And then I'm having the dark green with tip touching some ink. Again, the ink is at the tip. I will have the inside of the leaf and in between maybe showing the front side of the leaf, a couple as liaison to the host and between the host and guest, and then flipping extension. Wow. There was a monk painting a dragon on a temple wall, but didn't finish the eye of the dragon. And years later, the villagers were begging him to come back to finish. The monk finally came, and then adding the eye. The eyes of the dragon. And that is the lady of the flower in this case. And then, of course, they are dark and tall, handsome gentleman surrounds the lady. As the dragon complete, the monk jump, and the dragon comes to life and broke off the wall. The monk ride the dragon up into the cloud.